Hi, I'm Brody Miller, and I'm a recovering coward. Coward is harsh, but first let me explain to you. The word coward is defined as a person who lacks the courage to endure dangerous or unpleasant things. It is derived from the Latin word cauda, which means tail, which is in reference to a frightened animal with its tail tucked in between its legs. Cowardice is a disease, and it spreads just like the flu, contagiously from one person to the next. It all begins with taking the path of least resistance, or the easy way out. It starts with a lack of honesty, being untruthful to yourself and others. Instead of facing my fears, I ran to the bottle in the medicine cabinet. Due to my actions, I endangered myself, worried my family sick, and endangered the community. I didn't want to face my demons of the past. So my easy way out was drinking the next drink or swallowing the next pill. Do I regret what I did? Absolutely. But I learned a lot of lessons from my mistakes. I admit I was selfish, scared, and lacked direction. However, my younger self did not know about the tools that could break me free from my chains. So I do not fault myself for being lost, and I send love to that young man that I was. The path of least resistance is seen in all of nature. It is the feeling of when we don't want to get out of bed in the morning, when it's cold, rainy, and dark. It is our mind's way of conserving as much energy as possible. It is seen neurologically, energetically, and universally. This is why creating a new habit or behavior is so difficult. But it gets easier the more we repeat it. They say it takes between 30 to 200 days to form a new habit. The more we repeat the behavior, the stronger our neurons will fire and wire together. Just as we carve out a new pathway in the forest, it is extremely difficult at first, but the more that we groom the path, the easier it becomes. We all must stop taking the path of least resistance and start carving out our own path. Stop caring about what people think about you and stop doing groupthink with others. Refuse to take the path of least resistance, because either way you will have to face that resistance whether you like to or fucking not. If you take the easy way out, your toll will come due eventually. Think of it as like a karmic gatekeeper that will make you pay up for your past actions. Would you rather take accountability and pay up now when the only toll is discipline? Or will you wait until much later when the toll will be much greater? You have to make that choice for yourself. You may ask, how does this have anything to do with cowardice? Everything, really, because what we repeat, we ultimately become. That includes running away from our fears and acting like a coward. If you repeat that behavior, you'll become more of that. So what can you do if you or a loved one is suffering from cowardice? It all starts with facing our fears and pains slowly or all at once. Psychologists call this the practice of exposure therapy. For example, if your greatest fear is the fear of spiders, place yourself in a room full of spiders where you cannot escape easily. After a few times of repeating this behavior, your fear levels will improve. That's because we had to face our fears. But I admit not all fears are ones that we can face easily, if at all, in a physical realm. This is where the power of visualization and mental rehearsal comes in. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and imagine the fear like you were right in front of your face. Imagine what you would do if you had to face this fear right in this moment. Your heart will start to race. Your pupils will dilate, and it will be very uncomfortable, but you will get used to it. Your mind will see that you are willing to acknowledge your fears. Just as you are shining a light bulb in a dark room, the fear will begin to lose its power. Ironically, the fear for most, the largest fear, is the fear of public speaking. People would rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy. This is why I knew I had to challenge myself to become a public speaker. Because some days are better than others, and some days I turn back into a shrimp. But the main point I want to get across to everyone is that you can build courage one step at a time. Take it from a recovering coward. Make sure to give this YouTube video a like, subscribe, and share it to others so the algorithm can pass this on. And I appreciate you all for listening. I'm going to catch you on the next one.